With the November midterm elections rapidly approaching, the streets of Washington, D.C. are filling up with frustrated voters. We are looking at an astonishing scale of unrest. Roughly 9 million Americans are marching across multiple cities for the third round of what they are calling the No Kings protests. The anger on the ground is highly specific and undeniably strange. Demonstrators actually erected a makeshift statue of Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein holding the iconic Titanic pose. You might expect a sprawling, multi-city demonstration to trigger a serious policy response. Instead, White House officials publicly dismissed the crowds, stating they simply need derangement therapy. The administration then went a step further, leaning entirely into the surreal. They released AI-generated videos showing the president wearing an oversized crown, casually tossing silverware out of a private jet to mock the No King slogan. Which raises a structural question about political survival. Why would an administration facing a massive uprising and a threatened presidency choose to counterattack with internet memes instead of addressing the actual demands? To understand the disconnect, we have to look at the material reality driving the crowds. The primary grievance is a deeply unpopular effort to change the government in Iran, a conflict many citizens feel was forced upon the U.S. by Israel. This foreign policy has immediate, painful domestic consequences. We are seeing rapid, severe inflation hitting everyday Americans right at the pump. Meanwhile, a government shutdown has broken basic domestic infrastructure. Essential workers, particularly in the TSA, are no longer receiving their paychecks. Without pay, those workers are being forced to take sick leave or resign en masse. That translates directly into massive lines and systemic failures at airports across the country. Add to that an ongoing, widespread public frustration with domestic enforcement agencies like ICE, and you get a population squeezed from multiple directions. Voters are responding to a sequence of immediate physical and financial losses, a cascading failure of basic governance. Alongside the economic pain, there is a severe crisis of accountability. The administration has actively and continuously tried to suppress the release of the Epstein files. The president himself has repeatedly and publicly denied having any relationship with Jeffrey Epstein whatsoever. But the photographic record tells a different story. Clear, direct visual evidence completely contradicts those ongoing public denials. So, how does the executive branch handle undeniable domestic failures and contradicting photographic proof? They pivot. They release wildly absurd, completely unrelated geopolitical claims to dominate the news cycle. Right in the middle of these massive protests, the president randomly claimed that Iran was gifting him 10 ships full of oil, currently traveling through Pakistan. He followed that up with an even stranger public statement, claiming that Iran had officially offered him the title of Supreme Leader. This is the distraction doctrine in practice. These surreal claims create a noise floor of bizarre headlines, specifically engineered to bury discussions about missing paychecks and double-digit inflation. But the fact that millions of people are still showing up for the third round of these No Kings protests proves this tactic is losing its grip on the American public. Fabricated geopolitical flexes and AI-generated memes simply do not work on a populace that cannot afford groceries or navigate their local airport. That brings us to November. The midterm elections will measure whether this survival strategy of manufactured spectacle can actually hold. At the ballot box, the standard policy debates have been replaced by a choice between the administration's claims and the physical reality of the country. We are about to find out if a leader can survive by ignoring a crumbling domestic reality, or if the voters will explicitly decide that no one gets to be a king in their own country.